Hello, Jackos here, and today I'm going to show you what I've added to my Blu-ray collection. As you can see, I've been adding to more, and if you're wondering why I haven't been uploading recently, it's because I've been busy with college and all that other stuff. So let's 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 begin, shall we? First, we have Jason and the Argonauts. It's about the Greek mythical hero Jason and the Argonauts, his team of warriors who search for the Golden Fleece. It's a really good film. Kind of drags at some points, and but overall it's really good, really entertaining. Uh, some it kind of drags at some points. It's kind of boring, but those those there's not many of those moments. It was done by Ray Harryhausen, who is the special effects were done by Ray Harryhausen, and uh, and it's really good. You got the final skeleton battle, which is really impressive. Way better than CGI. In fact, stop motion. We should really stop. We should really stop using CGI as the go-to special effects in movies because uh, what's wrong with practical or stop motion even? It it looks better and cool and even practical effects are really there and stop motion to an extent is really there. So that's Jason and the Argonauts. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Go find it on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. Just watch it. You'll really like it. All right. And next we have Battleship Tumpkin. I haven't seen this one yet, but it's like one of the greatest propaganda films ever made. It's pretty much Soviet propaganda about a group. From what I remember, from what I've heard about it, it's about a group, pretty much like a group of sailors revolt against the oppressive uh, upper class. So yeah, I haven't seen it yet, and when I do, I'll tell you more about it. Next, we have Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. The Marilyn Monroe musical. I haven't seen this one yet, but I really want to, and when I do, uh, I'll tell you more about it. Next, we have From Beyond. Just like with Star Crash and Barbarella, I got this after watching Brandon Tenold's review of the film, and like if you haven't seen his channel yet, go see it. He does cult movie reviews, and and this is one of the films he did. It's a really great, entertaining, hilarious. The special effects are amazing. Again, we should stop using CGI as the go-to special effects in films. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. Go find it, watch it, whatever. Just see it. Next, we have Wall Street. Uh, the title pretty much explains everything. It stars Michael Douglas, Charlie Sheen. Pretty much like about Wall Street and the behind the scenes of it. Uh, as you can see here, greed is good. Um, it's a really good film. Uh, I'll do pretty much like what really saves it is like the performances and how much energy they're putting into it. They got really good actors because the dialogue itself it's not bad, but it's about like Wall Street and what goes on at Wall Street, and it has a bunch of like financial jargon. That's inherently boring, but they got great actors to put a lot of uh they to sell everything. So yeah, it's a really good film. Again, if you haven't seen it, see it. Next, we got The Jazz Singer, which in The Jazz Singer is a 1927 it's like considered the first talkie. It's maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you've heard of the remake with Neil Diamond. This is a pretty good film too. I thought when every when I heard this is the first talkie, I imagined like they were gonna talk throughout it, but no, they only sing. They only talk during like the music scenes, and maybe there's a little dialogue after the songs. The plot is pretty much this Jewish guy uh, one doesn't want to be a cantor. He doesn't want to follow in his father's footsteps, and his father pretty much disowns him after that. Uh, and it's a shame when you look up original Jazz Singer from 1927. The main image that shows up is like uh, the main character in blackface. That only makes up a small part of the film, and which is a shame because misleads you into thinking, oh, this is going to be a racist film, and it's really not. Yeah, sure, him in blackface is kind of weird, but it was 1927. It was that sort of time, so you have to put yourself into the time that the film was made, and there isn't even anything racist besides a white guy putting like black face paint on. So it's a really good film. It's not boring at all. It's really good. So again, if you've seen the Neil Diamond film, check this one out. It's really good. So moving on to uh, Logan. I've heard great I heard great things about this film, and I decided to get it. And yeah, it's really good. Um, it's pretty much like set way into the future. Logan is Wolverine is old. He's out of it pretty much. Everything sucks. Mutants are almost extinct. Again, everything sucks. Um, and yeah, it's really good. He has to get this Mexican. He has to get this girl who's pretty much his clone daughter. Uh, and uh, and yeah. Uh, so yeah. Uh, it's really great. There are some parts where it drags, mostly towards the third act, where it slows down. It's kind of like, okay, let's pick this up, but overall, it's not boring. Uh, the little girl, I think her name is X-23. I'm not a comic book guy, so so please don't have, so please no nerd rage if I got her code name wrong. Um, the little girl X-23, like she's Wolverine's clone daughter, so she has like two uh, adamantium blades that come out. It's really bloody, gory, tons of violence. Uh, yeah, it's a really good film. And the little girl, it's like I forget her name, but this is apparently this little actress's first film, and she's great. Usually, child actors suck, but she is not one of them. In fact, the other child actors in the film don't suck at all. So kudos to this director. So Logan, you probably seen it. It's like it was huge. It was very successful. So again, if you it's really great. If you haven't seen it, also see it. Moving on to San Andreas. Uh, it's very simple. Uh, the rock, the rock, and the San Andreas fault line causes an earthquake. It's really good. You don't really have to see it if you don't want to. It's a disaster film. I love disaster films. The Day After Tomorrow is one of my favorite films of all time, and really is an underrated masterpiece. This film, it's okay. Moving on to Home Alone. You all know what Home Alone is, so moving on, it's fine. Fast Five. Uh, one of so we got Fast Five. Not much to say about it. It's the fifth Fast and Furious. Uh, okay, moving on. Deathbed, the bed that eats. You probably never heard of this, but if you're subscribed to the Cinema Snob, then it's pretty much about a killer bed that eats people. An incredibly ridiculous premise. In fact, it was like obscure. It was considered a lost film. Even the director himself didn't even know about it. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched it yet, but I will soon. So I'll let you know. The New York Ripper, again, Cinema Snob, pretty much by Lucio Fulci, who did The Beyond and some other gory exploitation films. It's pretty much like a guy with a duck voice who kills women in cold blood in New York, and like it's the search for who he is. It's a pretty good film. Uh, all right. Next we got Galaxy of Terror. I'm not sure if I already did this one, but it's like an Alien knockoff produced by Roger Corman. Uh, yeah, produced by Roger Corman. It's an Alien knockoff, uh, but it's one of the better ones. In fact, the set design was actually done by James Cameron. Yeah, before James Cameron became like one of the greatest directors of all time, he actually worked for Roger Corman. And the set design in this film is awesome. It makes it look way better and higher budgeted than it really is. Um, it's overall it's kind of slow moving, slower than Alien. There are parts that are really boring, but the, there are really there are some really good oh my god moments. Like for example, this woman gets raped by an alien slug, so it's got that going for it. So if you ever find this, watch it. You, you uh, Whether or not you like it or not, that's entirely up to you. But it's something that you should at least watch once. All right, moving on. Plan 9 from Outer Space. Everyone knows who this is, what this is. It's directed by Ed Wood. It's considered one of the worst films of all time, but in the so bad it's good category. I watched it, and I kind of disagree on the so bad it's good factor. It it's incredibly boring. Seriously, it's slow moving. It's boring. It's not boring enough for me to get mad at it. It's really uh I got so bored watching it that I kept it on, but kept it on as background noise as I did other stuff. So it's to me, it's not so bad. It's good. It's just so bad. It's boring, but not bad enough for me to hate it. So yeah, it's just boring. Scarface. Now this I haven't technically finished watching the whole film. People praise this film as being amazing. I found it slow, uninteresting, so I haven't finished it, and I probably won't. It's like this Cuban immigrant who goes to America and sells cocaine, and eventually becomes a top mob boss, I guess. So yeah, I haven't finished it because it's like uninteresting, but it's not bad. It's just uninteresting. Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. Uh, Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter, directed by Tim Burton. The huge. Uh, it's actually really good. The plot is set in the Victorian era about this guy who doesn't want to marry this other woman, so who doesn't want to be in an arranged marriage. So, and through comical mishaps. He ends up married to a dead woman, and even though it's predictable about that the shock, the guy who looks like the villain is actually the villain. But it's a really good film. You should watch it. The Haunting in Connecticut. I really love this film. Uh, I watched the unrated director's cut, and it's really good. I don't remember much of it. I've seen it on TV, and from there aren't as many jump scares in it. It's really good. It's based on true events. So yeah, it's really good. Check it out. Olympus Has Fallen. This is a awesome movie. It's Die Hard at the White House, and that's pretty much all you have to. Pretty much all to it. Gerard Butler. It's Die Hard at the White House with North Korean terrorists. Ghost in the Shell. I've heard praises about this film. Uh, it. I have technically 3 anime now. The first is Bloodlust Vampire, Wicked City, and now this. And while I don't think it's the masterpiece that everyone says it is, it's still a really good film. Interesting ideas, kind of clunky exposition, but overall it's pretty good. Set in the future, follows cyborg, I guess, called the Major. And not really sure what the plot is, but it's great to look at. Again, it's fine. Jaws. You'll know what it is. Killer Shark, one of the greatest films of all time. Steven Spielberg. So moving on. Hunger Games: Catching Fire. Again, you all know what this is. Katniss Everdeen, Rebellion, YA novel. War of the Worlds. Great movie. I do own the original film, and I think this is better. Tom Cruise, Aliens, Steven Spielberg. Again, great. Halloween. Halloween 35th anniversary special edition. Again, you all know what this film. You all know what this film is. You all know what it's about. And so I gotta move quickly because Battle Beyond the Stars. Again, another Roger Corman film. I found this one from Brandon Tenold, and I haven't seen it yet, but from what I've seen in his review, it seems really good. It's pretty much like a Star Wars knockoff and a Magnificent Seven remake. Imagine the Magnificent Seven in space. Moving on. Interview with the Vampire, one of my favorite films of all time. One of my favorite films of all time. Pretty much like it's based on the book by Anne Rice about a vampire played by Brad Pitt who pretty much tells his life story to this reporter guy, and it's a fantastic movie. You should see it. This I do think that this film led the way for Twilight, in the sense that it makes the vampires seem more human and more tragic, but this did it better. The Woman in Black, I haven't seen it yet, but I have heard great things about it. So, pretty much Daniel Radcliffe, and Ghost Lady. I haven't seen it yet, but when I do, I'll let you know if it's good. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Good. So yeah, we all know what this is, so I'm gonna move on. Tron Legacy, I saw this once on television years ago. Uh, I liked it when I watched it a few days ago. It was not as good as I remember it being, but it still isn't bad. Some of the special effects are fantastic, while others are eh. If you haven't seen Tron Legacy, it's the sequel to Tron, which is like one of the considered, which is like the first was the first film with to be done with CGI. This is a sequel to it, and the plot is like uh, Sam, I think, son of Flynn, goes tries to find his father. He winds up in Tron, and a bunch of flashy special effects and uh, awesome spectacle with parables to religion, spirituality, all that stuff. It's good. Moving on to American Pie. um, yeah, I'm still on the fence of whether or not I actually want to watch this because uh, it's like raunchy sex comedy. Seeing like yeah, cause I seriously hate Animal House, and I'm really not. And I'm afraid that if I watch this, I'll have the same uh, reaction as I did to Animal House, where there's just a bunch of douchebag, irredeemable characters. But I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Next, we got Alien. We all know what Alien is, so moving on. Twister, one of my favorite films of all time. It's a seriously underrated. It's a good. I consider it a good film. Yeah, the plot is simple: tornadoes, storm chasing, all that good stuff. Seven, really good. Plot is simple: chase. Two guys try to look for a serial killer who's killing people using the seven deadly sins. It's a really good film. We all know what this is, but if you haven't, go see it, find it, watch it. It's good. Under the Skin, it's apparently an erotic thriller starring uh, Scarlett Johansson as an alien. I haven't seen it yet. I've heard good things, so I'll let you know. See No Evil, a great movie. Uh, at the end, the ending is kind of bad, but overall, it's a really good slasher film starring Kane. So if you haven't seen it yet, it's really good. You should see it. Slugs, another one from another film I found out by watching Brandon Tennell's review. Pretty much simple, killer slugs. Haven't seen it yet, but I'll let you know. Predator, self-explanatory. Moving on. Mortal Kombat. I think it's a legitimately good movie. Sure, it doesn't have the gore, but it has a really good story. Uh, Night at the Museum. This is pretty much a okay film that I just picked up because I need to expand my Blu-ray collection, so it's a good film. It's fine. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, awesome. The Descent, haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things. So, a bunch of women go cave exploring and are attacked by mutants. And finally, John Carpenter's The Thing. Great movie. Shape-shifting alien in Antarctica. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Alright, so that's it. I'm Jack Rose. Like, subscribe, comment if you want to, and have a nice day.